Hello everybody! Guess who has some natural light? Malinka here, and I finally got the time to sit down and put together the books that I absolutely loved in 2013. I watched so many of these videos in December and January, and on the 1st of February this is when I had time to do it. But never mind, the important thing that we're still rolling, and I decided to divide this video in two parts because I read a lot of classics last year. I managed to read the amazing number of 102 or 3 books, which for me is quite an accomplishment, and I read a lot of classics and I'm really happy with that. And so I decided to make a separate video for classics, and today we're gonna do the non-classics, the contemporary, young adult. I don't even know, I'm not sure what category all these books belong to, but they're not classics, I know that for sure. So the books are not in particular order, they're just the way I pulled them from the shelves of my lovely library or the way I bought them. So I will start with all the books of Philippa Gregory. She writes historical fiction, which I absolutely love, and usually her characters are women, important women, not important women in the society at the time, regular women, the Queen's full portraits, a simple girl, and it fascinates me how the historical facts are reinterpreted while the women are presented as very powerful characters. I really love that. So I will put all the books that I read of Philippa Gregory in this Philippa Gregory chapter. The next book that I absolutely loved, and I raved about this, Sacred and Profane by Marcel Bernstein. And she has another book, Body and Soul, and some of my viewers commented that they met her in person at a university lecture, and she's as amazing as the style of the book. I loved this book. It is the story of 2 twin girls. Of course you see it, one is sacred, one is profane, and the plot goes poof like this. It starts very strong and it goes strong. It's a page turner, how all the booktubers say, and I really loved it. I couldn't figure it out until the end. I was still thinking what is the key of the plot, and then I understood it at the end, at the very end. So it really kept me going and kept me interested, so I highly recommend it. The next book I have is Mark Levy in Another Life. Mark Levy is, I read it in Romanian, but he is a French author, and apparently he's the most popular French author and most published French author. This book is so short, but it's so mysterious and adventurous. I really loved it. It's the story of Jonathan and Clara that try to discover the mystery of an old painter, Russian painter. It's not a real painter. I looked it up and it's just a fictive one. And the secret of the painting depends on them, and it turns out that it's their mystery, their own mystery, not just the painting. So I really loved it. I read it in a sitting, and after that I went back and read it. Half of it I read it again because I enjoyed it. It's very quick, it's very interesting, and it keeps you interested. I have a list here, and the next one is The 5 People You Meet in Heaven by Mitch Albom. I don't have it because it was borrowed already. I absolutely loved that book. It made me so nostalgic about my past and thinking what people helped me, how I influenced other people's life if I did. And it's a book that feeds your thoughts a lot, so I really recommend it. The next one is Bridget Jones' Diary by Helen Fielding. This is the cover with the movie. I read another one, but that one is not available anymore. So it's a chick lit, but once you read the book you understand better what's going on in Bridget's head and how she's struggling with her weight, with her smoking addiction, with her emotional troubles. And me being a girl, I can relate to that, so I really loved it and enjoyed reading it. At some point I thought that she's stretching it too much, but we all women exaggerate with everything and we stretch it too much very often. So it's a very realistic book. The next book that I have is At Freddy's by Penelope Fitzgerald. I picked this book, I picked it up by mistake. I didn't know who Penelope Fitzgerald is. I read this one and The Beginning of a Spring, which I liked, but not as much to put it in this list of favorites. But this book is funny and amazing. It's about an idealistic person, and life has kicked her so many times and she still thinks that she can run the show as she wants. As you can see on the cover, there are a lot of children, so it's a school for talented children, like an art school. And the manager, this what is her name? Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's Freddie. It's a perfectly example of idealist in the real world, and she cannot manage the real world, but she doesn't give up, and I absolutely love it. And the ending is also interesting and shocking. So it's all, again, a very, very small book, which I enjoyed every page of it. The next I have L'amour dure 3 ans by Frédéric Beigbeder. Beigbeder. Yes, Beigbeder. In translation, Love Lasts 3 Years, by the same author. And I read this one in English because some of my friends were raving about this. Again, very short book and very quick, very I would say it doesn't have a lot of events. The idea is that the main character is struggling with the proven fact in his personal life that all his loves or relationships only last 3 years until something happens. I loved the book. I loved it because it opened the soul of a man, of a strong man, and he was honest about how he was feeling, what he was doing, why, and in the end, the ending is amazing. So if you want to read it, go for it. Gotta love the art here. I think these are her panties. The next book I have here is Chuck Palahniuk's Lullaby. I read Chuck Palahniuk not so much. I only read some non-fiction stories, and I know about Fight Club. I haven't read it until the end because I dropped it. I couldn't understand it. I was very young. But this book is amazing, amazing. I love Chuck's style. The story is a story in another story. Everything is mixed up. I had to go back a few pages, read again, understand what's going on, who are you not, and it catches you. If you like Chuck Palahniuk, this will catch you, and I really need to get my hands on his new book. Next one I have is Vladimir Nabokov, Lolita. This is not the actual book, this is a screenplay because the book is booked at the library, like 5-6 people want to read it. But I took it so that I can show you Vladimir Nabokov. Enjoy his face. So I don't have to comment on Lolita. Number 10 is Love Story by Eric Segal. I don't have the book because somebody lent it in the library. It's a very small, short, amazing story. If you find it, it's an old book since I think it's 1970 something. It's an amazing book. They made a movie out of it. Read it. You will absolutely love it. So that was my top 10 books of 2013. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if you read any of these. If you hated, I mean, everybody has different taste. But stay tuned for the second part with the classics. Thank you so much. Bye.